Step 1, acquire multiple cans of spray paint. Step 2, acquire a dad who has knowledge in woodworking. He doesn't necessarily have to be your dad, but he should be someone's. Okay.
You might want to point out that this is all from trees we've cut down in our own yard, right?
Yeah, we're mountain people.
This one is kind of interesting in that
it has a natural curve to it.
It has a natural thinness happening along its length, right?
Yeah.
So my only worry about any of this is the wood's so thin as it's kind of floppy, but you know, the floppiness is kind of curring up there.
Yeah,
so
that's what I
if we
noticed.
cut it off around here, we're probably good.
Okay.
What I'm thinking is,
like right here-ish.
I'm going to cut at an angle about like that, right there.
Ooh.
So it gets thicker as it comes down, right?
Yeah.
So although we're going to struggle with a round edge, this will still give us a taper that's similar to what the Japanese kind of style is. Similar from a poor person's complete fabrication out of nothing.
Excellent. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the right
It's
target.
a very accessible DIY project if you have tons of trees that just fall down randomly, and also if you have a father with endless wood knowledge. So then we had our wood and we made the first cut of the day, and we had the beginning of our sword. Then we decided to put a taper in that sword. So we started sawing at an angle going downward down the blade of our sword. So it was skinniest at the top, and then our cut got fatter as we got lower on the sword. All right, so we're gonna try to put a blade on the sword. He's tilting the saw at an angle. I'm gonna try to do something unique here. So then we tried it out. And it ended up looking pretty sick. It was a cool look. So then we decided to do that on both sides. So we kind of refined the cut. We went back in. We did it again. And snap, we broke the little piece off on the inside so we could get a better look at what the heck we were doing. And we kind of investigated that, and it was interesting. So we decided, you know, let's do it to both sides, let's roll with it. So then we just smoothed on over that little piece of wood. I really like the little curly cues that the wood makes if you slice it thin enough.
It's a little raunchy right there. We could just put a little bit of rust paint there. It looks like you killed somebody and cut through their bone, right?
Then I explained to my father that I already have enough problems in my life, and I don't need any acquisitions of murder. So I asked him to please smooth down the end of that sword so no one would get suspicious. Then we made this sick slicety, and the sword was coming along. And we did the same thing and just smoothed out that little section of it. Then we found a piece and made a cut for a handle. Then we took our slice and we put it through our saw and cut the edges off to make it a little bit more smooth. Other side. Third time.
Around, he'll take off the corner or something like that. Now, the question I have for you is, if you want square on both ends of this,
I think round on both ends, right?
Well, so what I mean is flat on those two ends. On the back end, we would probably round it all the way around, right? On the front end, I don't know.
All right, leave it square on the front end then.
Let's play with it and see what we end up with. And pop out like this on each side, and then it will wrap around like this, right? All the way around.
Cool. Then we brought out the big guns, a router to start smoothing the edges. Ew, wow. It's so smooth.
Well, it really makes you kind of want to take the planer first to get all of it super smooth, and then you're just smoothing in the corners. I think the biggest problems we're going to have is clamping all of them down. So I'm really going to want maybe a little bit wider piece that will clamp down on the ends of this and these for creating the stop points. You know what I'm saying?
I do, actually.
Well, we'll make it for two of my hands. It should be more than big enough for two of your hands, right?
Okay.
So let's go right here. And let's go right here. Somewhere around there. 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 And there.
Then we brought the router back out and we started smoothing both sides of our wood to make a rounded handle and figure out how that was going to look on the final product. Then we clamped down our wood so there would be little to no chance of it being able to escape. Then we brought back our friend, Mr. Rooter, and we started going even deeper into the handle and making the sword more awesome and ethereal looking than it was previously.
I like it.
I kind of love it. Despite its epicness, the sword wasn't ethereal enough for us, so we decided to do a series of cuts into the top of it at 45-degree angles, and that gave us kind of this interesting diamond effect. You'll see it in a second here. Ooh. Dang, that's really cool.
So that kind of gives an interesting, but I think you still want to round these off a little bit. But I could do them more geometrically as opposed to round it off like this, right?
Yeah.
Which would look something more along the lines of...
So then we did a few more of those angular cuts, one on each side. And we ended up with something pretty epic. You'll see that in a second. It's freaking cool.
You like it?
I don't even know how you come up with this stuff.
Well, this would be the back end. This is the front end. So now, what do you want to do up here?
Logic would almost dictate that this should be round, doesn't it?
Yes, it really does to me.
It does in my mind. So then we brought the router back and we started going around the edge of this and rounding it off and making it circular so that it wouldn't be pointy and it would give us kind of like a contrast from the other end because the other end is way more geometrical. And then we did it on the sides as well.
I'm going to mount this right about like this, all right? So your blade's going to be at a small off angle. Then we'll take some Bondo We'll fill in this gap here. We'll fill in this. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to cut this off right about here. And then I'm only going to cut this guy that deep. I'm going to just put a slot in it that this will slide down in.
So then we cut a slot into the one side, and then we flipped it over, and we cut a slot into the other side. Well, actually, it was like a series of several slots, and then they all accumulated, and we got a big slot. We realized the sword was too long, so now we're gonna cut it down a little bit and then just fit it back into the groove. The first hand tool of the day. Feels like I've been tied to the whipping post, tied to the whipping post. Life hack: if you can't open something, just literally install Vice in your house and then just use your Vice on everything that you own. Alrighty, spreading the wood glue out on the sword.
Oh, well, we can't show the brands, right?
You can do whatever you want.
We've not been funded by them.
This is America.
Whoa.
It's Googling.
It's
the ground.
Googling?
On the other side.
It's Google glue?
It's falling.
I've never bought Google glue before.
It's a very expensive high-tech glue.
I'm sure it is.
They say it comes from Silicon Valley.
Let's see. Do I got enough glue? Ooh, I pretty much
I think you do.
I think I do too.
It's gonna be gooey. Which is probably the goal.
That was the goal. Yeah, I put it in upside down.
No!
And I'm dripping.
Jesus.
Yes.
Don't you do this every day?
Me? Oh, yes, yes. I build wooden swords like this. That's my primary income.
I mean,
it is my new career.
If you customize the heck out of these, you could make a bundle.
You probably could.
Alrighty, so we waited for that glue to dry, and then we used this plastic wood fill, and we put it like in the crack here on the top and the bottom, and now that's dry. Then I gathered my painting supplies and I headed outside. Alrighty, so I'm gonna paint the handle first. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of tape where the blade meets the handle. Might as well jump. Alright, I'm gonna use this gold spray paint and just do the handle. Yeet! I'm scared. Okay. Oh, it's working. Smells like nail polish remover. Popular, you know when I'm popular. It's not about who you are or your fancy cars. It only matters who you were. Popular. Alrighty, so I'm gonna let that dry, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go pick up some vegan vittles and go get a library card, which is exciting because I've actually never had a library card. I know, I'm 21. I don't know either. I was homeschooled. That's my excuse. They gave one to me. I'm now licensed and dangerous. Watch out. Alrighty, so I came and checked on it, and it's pretty much dry. It's like, you know when you paint your nails and you touch them and you think they're dry, but then you leave a fingerprint in your nail? That's like the level of dry this sword is. So I'm gonna add a second coat. Oh crap, I just sprayed myself. Ugh, gross. I miss American dreams since I was 17. No matter if I step on the scene or sneak away to the Philippines, they still gonna take pictures of my derriere in the magazine. You want a piece of me, you want a piece of me. I miss the media karma, another day, another drama. Guess I can't see the harm in what. It's pretty sick. You could kill someone. I'm just kidding, probably. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna do the opposite, and I'm gonna tape up the handle so I can spray paint the blade. Ow, it's on a hole. Alright, now we're going to take spray paint color number 2, which is this metallic Rust-Oleum. Shake it up. I love that sound, listen. Okay, so then what happened next was relatively tragic. I tried to spray this can of spray paint and I ended up actually breaking it and I couldn't fix it, so then I had to wait till the next day. Alrighty, so it's the next day. My dad fixed the spray paint for me. He took the top off a different spray paint and put it on this spray paint. So now it's usable. It's pretty wet and it's pretty rainy outside, but I'm gonna do it anyway, so let's do this. This is getting more and more exciting with every passing hour. It started raining, so I brought it inside. This is like a 1-day DIY turning into like a 3-day DIY, so that's pretty cool. Alrighty, quick, there's a break in the rain. Run. So I brought it in and I put it on a piece of cardboard in my garage to dry.
Hop out, see me, and come after me. Ah, oh my gosh. You look like you're enjoying it way too much.
That's my life's mission.